number 7 is in any religion or in any knowledge is magic number. So let's see what's going to be the hadith number 7 in this collection. عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنه. Hadith is from Ahlul Bayt. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يأتي على الناس زمان وجوههم وجوه الآدميين وقلوبهم قلوب الشياطين. There will be time in which people will have a face of human being وقلوبهم قلوب الشياطين, but their heart will be the heart of shayateen. لا يرعون عن قبيح إن بايعتهم أربوك وإن ائتمنتهم خانوك صبيهم عارم وشابهم شاطر وشيخهم لا يأمر بمعروف ولا ينهى عن منكر الاعتزاز بهم ذل وطلب ما في أيديهم فقر الحليم فيهم غاو والآمر فيهم بالمعروف متهم المؤمن فيهم مستضعف والفاسق فيهم مشرف السنة فيهم بدعة والبدعة فيهم سنة فعند ذلك يسلط الله عليهم أو يسلط عليهم شرارهم ويدعو خيارهم فلا يستجاب لهم. It's very, very scary hadith. So there will be time in which people, there will be creatures with the face of a human being but with the hearts of a shayateen. What's the heart of a shayateen? لا يرعون عن قبيح. They will never stop, they will never hesitate from the evil. Okay, so let's say that there is some chance of you committing sin. So if you do not stop, you do not hesitate, you do not stop, you know, you even not, you just carry on, you know. So that's what hadith says. وَإِنْ بَيَعْتَهُمْ أَرْبَوْكَ. If you will be trading with them, they will cheat you. Arbauka means they will do it on interest basis. Means any trading, everyone will be seeking only for his own benefit, you know. Any conditions that they will involve, it serves only their goals. Okay. Rasulullah Islam is talking about mainly Muslims. Okay, so normally when you buy, let's say from Argos, there are conditions, but conditions are serving from, you know, both sides. Am I right? Home delivery, for example. So it is helping me. But when you do deal with the Muslims, so there will be conditions serving only the person who is doing it, you know. So I'm selling my car, so always there will be some defect in it, I will hide it, okay, and I will put an extra conditions which only protects me. You will be, if you are naive person, you will be very easily cheated. Why? Because you are dealing with someone called Muslim, you know. You know, one thing we in here in the UK all the time complain about, saying, oh, you know, white people, they do not respect us. You know, it's not all the time based on wrong understanding. The big portion of them not respecting us, based on them having deals with us, you know. And then they tested us also, you know. They saw us lying, cheating, looking only for our pocket or our tummy or our interest, you know, our benefit. So that's how they do not respect us, you know. That's how they do not respect us. It's not because you are praying, you know, because even amongst white people, there are people who go to the church to pray. So white man doesn't disrespect someone only because he prays. Do you understand what I mean? Or it's not because you are wearing Islamic clothes, because there are amongst white people who wear traditional clothes or maybe the monastery clothes, and people do not stop respecting because of how they're clothing, you know. So it should be because of something different, you know. So it's because of this. When they rent a property from us, we agree on one price, and this next month, because they cannot move back, you know, we just increase the price, rent, you know. And whenever we sell an item, we say non-refundable because we know that there is some damage in it, defect in it. So when he buys and when he discovers that damage, now he just burned. I mean, he just lost the money and the item is not doing properly, you know. Okay, so according to all of these things that they see, they experience with us, they do not respect us. Why? Because it's the face of a man, but heart is not the heart of a man. When they deal, when they trade, arboka, they cheat you. وَإِنِ ائْتَمَنْتَهُمْ خَانُوكَ. But when you will leave amana with them, خَانُوكَ, they will cheat you again. What's the amana? It's very wrong understanding that amana is only something. For example, that's my mobile phone. I will just leave it with you, saying, okay, please can you take care of it. It's not only the amana. Amana, Rasulullah says, if someone is speaking to you and before speaking out, he just turned towards right and left. Rasulullah said that is amana. Okay. Or neighbors, let's say that I'm your neighbor, means I know what you do in your house, you know, the problems that you have in your house, etc. So that is also amana. I do not have right to pass it on to the people. Okay, or for example, you are a daughter-in-law of some family. Definitely you will see their weaknesses and sins, you know. So that is also amana, you know. You shouldn't disclose it in front of the people. وَإِنِ ائْتَمَنْتَهُمْ خَانُوكَ. So if you will leave something as amana, they will disclose it. They will never take care of the amana. One of the hadith which is coming, Rasulullah ﷺ said that group of people will be sitting together, friends, and person will be afraid of standing up and leaving that group because he is afraid that these people will be speaking bad about him. Is it literally happening now or not? So we will be sitting and no one wants to get up because he knows that when he leaves, they will be backbiting him or slandering him, you know. So that's what's happening now. And for some reason, you know, I have friends who are non-Muslims, Christians, as well as Jews, you know. For some reason, I never find them backbiting, you know. On the same way, I have many friends who are Muslims, and I never saw any of them who didn't backbite at all. So, Muslim will be scared to leave some group because he knows that when he leaves, they will backbite. Okay, they will slander. No, it's coming back to the first hadith in which Rasulullah said that وَلَا يَبْقَى مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ إِلَّا اسْمُهُ. Nothing of Islam will be remaining except its name. يَتَسَمَّوْنَ بِهِ وَهُمْ أَبْعَدُ النَّاسِ مِنْهُ. They will be claiming to be a Muslim, but they are the farthest people from Islam. Okay. وَإِنِ ائْتَمَنْتَهُمْ خَانُوكَ. So when you will leave amana with them, they will not take care of it. صَبِيُّهُمْ عَارِمٌ. The kid in that time, their kids are smart on evil way. Okay, or there is no well behaving. For example, kids now, when you speak to a kid, if you close your eye, you think that you are talking to someone who is 50 years old, you know. He knows everything. You know, normally, I remember my father and my uncles and that generation, when I would go, if they would be speaking about something, because I came in, they would stop speaking about that matter. You know, family relationships. So it would make me to be naive about that things, you know. But our kids now, they know everything. They know how to do it, how to perform it, how to prevent it. They know everything, you know. So smart. So there are some certain things which kids shouldn't know, shouldn't speak about. Okay, but now they are more knowledgeable about that type of things more than we are, you know. They're more knowledgeable about that type of things. وَشَابُهُمْ شَاطِرٌ and their youth are very sharp. Okay, means if I need anything, I know the closest way. For example, what I will do just write my income, for example, £50,000. Okay, so then I will say, okay, let's complain to the government to get a benefit, and then there will be false testimony in that. So young person, young man, will know how to get that money on the evil way. I will get my income 50,000, as well as I lied to the government saying it was only 10,000 to get extra benefits from the government. Shelter, I say, just perfect, you know. Okay. وَشَيْخُهُمْ لَا يَأْمُرُ بِمَعْرُوفٍ وَلَا يَنْهَى عَنْ مُنْكَرٍ. But the early generation in that time, they do not advise for good and they do not stop from the evil. Okay, so the youth of 50s and 60s, now they are the early generation now. Am I right? Okay, so it is the generation of the most disobedient things, you know. All of the disobedient, all of the things became very popular in their time. So now they do not advise us for good and they do not stop us from evil. الِاعْتِزَازُ بِهِمْ ذُلْمٌ. To be honored by them is humiliating, is miserable. Do you know, let's say that there is some group of people, when you join them, you will be honored, you know. Or there is some tribe. For example, let's say that when you attribute yourself to the descendants of Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, it is honorable, you know. But when you attribute yourself to those people, it is humiliating. So, for example, in the past centuries, if you would say, I'm from that tribe, for example, Hashimis, they will say, oh, mashallah. But now when you attribute yourself to your family, they will straight away say, oh, isn't it that person who did so and so on, you know? Is it that a drug dealer? Oh, yeah, we know him, you know. So, when you attribute yourself to those people, you will be humiliated. Okay, miserable. It will look very miserable. وَطَلَبُ مَا فِي أَيْدِيهِمْ فَقْرٌ. And when you will be seeking for what they do have, it will make you to be even more humiliated. For example, in the past, you would go to seek a knowledge. So by gaining knowledge, it would make you even more and more respected. But when you go now for anything, it could be knowledge, it could be anything, it will make you even lower and lower, you know. Okay. Al-Halimu fihim ghawin. And the wise person in that time is confused and misguided. Okay. So the wise person doesn't give no more the correct, proper answers and solutions to your problem. وَالْأَمِرُ فِيهِمْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ مُتَّهَمْ. But when you, in that time, when you advise the people to do good, muttaham, straight away people will criticize you. People will think that you are doing it maybe for the money, or you are doing it to be famous. Okay, straight away people will think bad about you. Al-mu'minu fihi mustad'af. And the true believer in that time will be ignored and will be, you can say, given a hard time. In different hadith, Rasulullah says, يَسْتَخْفِي فِيهِمُ الْمُؤْمِنُ كَمَا يَسْتَخْفِي فِيكُمُ الْمُنَافِقِ. In that time, in our time, the true believer will be hiding himself amongst them as a hypocrite is hiding himself now amongst you. Okay? So the true believers will look like us, but in their heart they will be different to us. As the hypocrites in the time of Rasulullah, they would look like Sahaba, beads, turbans, etc., but in their heart they were different. Okay? So this hadith is actually normally used to explain the status of the Muslims with shaved beard and wearing non-Asian clothes. Why? Because Rasulullah said that the true believer will be hiding himself then, as hypocrites hiding themselves now in the time of Sahaba. So is it possible that you will look like proper Islamic clothing, etc., and hiding yourself? It's impossible. Okay? So that's why if you have a neighbor or friend who has shaved beard or maybe, for example, jeans and etc., so you shouldn't think bad about him. So maybe he's one of those true believers. So by thinking bad, you are challenging God because you are thinking bad about one of the awliya. وَالْفَاسِقُ فِيهِمْ مُشَرِّف or مُشَرَّف. مُشَرَّف means respected. مُشَرِّف means publicized. So مُشَرَّف means the disobedient then in that time is very highly respected. So now when you go to look in your locality, who are the most respected people? So it will be killers, it will be thieves, it will be drug dealers, it will be the most disobedient people. Musharrif is the disobedient will be committing sin publicly and without hesitation. As-sunnatu fihim bid'ah wal bid'atu fihim sunnah. Does it mean that I'm speaking too much?
No.
But anyway, it's my last time being Sheikh, okay? From the next time I'm Maulana, okay? So the sunnah in our time, in our time classed as bid'ah, and bid'ah in our time classed as sunnah. Now, my question, how sunnah became bid'ah and how bid'ah became sunnah?
Because people are not practicing the actual official, the original sunnah
Okay.
of the Prophet ﷺ, adding things to it and innovating and
Okay.
concocting their own ideas, if you like.
Are you Wahhabi?
Sometimes, I'm joking.
Could it be that outwardly they might be following the sunnah, but inwardly they're not following the sunnah
Okay.
of the character of the Prophet ﷺ? So,
Okay.
Deviating from the four school.
Yes, of course, indeed. Because we would not say four schools, we say the true scholars. To the hanky-panky peoples of ego and caprice and hypocrites and ignorance. When you see people leaving these four real scholars, very obedient, pious scholars, definitely you will find an evil in their heart, you know? The evil, the sign of misguidance. Okay? And it is mainly hypocrites. Because when it is a matter of the headache, they will never listen to the hanky-panky scholars, but they will go to the most authentic GP, you know? But when it's the matter of religion, they will go with the hanky-panky people. As is hypocrites. Why? Because they over-evaluate themselves and then they do not evaluate the religion. For the religion, okay, any opinion will do. But for the headache, only the highly qualified scholar, you know? As is hypocrites. Of course, they're bid'atis, no doubt on it. You know, one thing,